Hello, my friends. Today we are going to talk about for the game of basketball, which I will include plays and the players of the game. We are Samuel Castellanos and Santiago Camargo.
Okay, so I will start with a brief introduction. The basketball is one of the most important sports today because it has globalized a lot. Since Michael Jordan, a lot of countries watch these spectacles, especially the NBA, which is the most important league in the world, because all the best players of all the countries in the world plays in this league that is played in US. Every day more people plays this sport because it's very attractive. You have to be very clever for gain a respectable place in a team. Let's start, my friend.
So the vocabulary NBA. What is NBA? It's a National Basket Association, and it is composed for 13 teams and in the 30 teams and the United States and one of Canada. It is one of the four major professional sport league on the United States and Canada. MVP. What is an MVP? Is the National Basket Association most evaluate players award. Is a annual National Basketball Association award given in the science of the 1955 to 56 seasons to the best performing player on the regular season. Playoff. The playoff is an extra game or the period of the play and competition of the play between teams or the competition who both the same number of points is ordered in decide who wins in the competition. Ankle breaker. What is ankle breaker? That is a good game. That is a crossover dribble in which a sudden change in the direction causes the defender guarding in the ball hard or fall down. ABA. ABA is American Basketball Association that is include a lot of a lot of teams and that's it.
Okay, so I'm going to say what is basketball. Basketball basically is a game played between two teams composed of five players in which goals are scored by throwing a ball through a net who fixed at each end of the court. This is a sport that was created in the USA by Larry O'Brien in the city of Springfield in the winter season because there was no sports for play indoor. So it means that all these sports have to be played in summer and in spring and in autumn. But there no was a sport that was played for the winter. So he made that for people not to stop doing sport, and he made what today we know as basketball.
The best team history. A lot of teams have played in NBA, but just a few are in the history in the wonderful league. The first is Chicago Bulls in 1995 to 1996. Record to 72 and 10. Here we have it. They're the greatest team in the NBA history in 1995 to 1996. Chicago Bulls in the 1994-1995 the season. The Chicago Bulls didn't play in the expectation, especially because Michael Jordan was of playing basketball. However, later of the season, Jordan made a surprise comeback. Thus, is interesting the 1995 to 1996 season. There was a no doubt that Jordan and the Bulls were ready to bring a title back in the city.
Now I'm going to talk about the 86-87 Los Angeles Lakers. The record was 65 victories and 17 losses. This Lakers was a failure because the team of Larry Bird and Kevin McHale uh, didn't make them win this season. Also, the Houston Rockets went to them in the Western Conference Finals with Hakeem Olajuwon. So the year prior, the Lakers had a great regular season in which they won 65 games, which is a very good stat in basketball. Magic Johnson led the team with 23.9 points per game and 12 assists per game. And James Worthy, that in that time was in the bench, began to embrace a larger role of the team, averaging 19.5 points per game. Karim Abdul-Jabbar continued to show flashes of inside dominance, while Byron Scott, AC Green, Michael Cooper, and Michael Thompson, also Kurt Rambis, fulfilled the tasks as terrific role players. Um, it is must say that all these players were in the bench, so it was a very strong team because the bench players have the same stats of very high level players, so it means much in a basketball team.
Boston Celtics, 1955, 1860. Record 67 wins and 50 losses. Is going to 40 and 1 at home. They 40 home wins set in NBA record, which will only the match of the San Antonio Spurs in 2016. Whitley recording among the greatest team on the NBA history. Their 16-7 total wins were one of the shy of tying their fashion record 68 winning wins, said that 1972 to 1973 and tied to seventh all times for total win by the team in the single seasons. The Celtics were coming off of the NBA Finals, loss of 6 games on the Los Angeles Lakers, marking the first instance the Celtics were defeated by the Lakers in the NBA Finals. Larry Bird won the third consecutive MVP award on the Bill Walton won on the Sixth Man of the Year award. The teams uh, was encouraged by the Big Three from the court of Bird, Kevin McHale, and the Robert Parrish, with their friendly ranked among the best frontcourts in the NBA history. Next.
So the now we are going to talk about the best players historically. The first one, of course, is Michael Jordan because he has the best stats around the all the players of the NBA history. So he's not only the best basketball player of all the time, but he's one of the greatest athletes in the history. The Wolves would have won 8 titles if he hadn't left the NBA for 2 years between 94 and 96. 6 NBA championship and MVP awards in each of those finals, and 5 season MVPs awards are just few of Jordan's great achievements throughout his career. As if that were not enough, he composed the best quintet of NBA 10 times from 1987 to 1993, from 1996 to 1998, and 9 times to the NBA Defensive Quintet.
LeBron James. LeBron James obviously is the second. Today is the comparison between LeBron and the number one of the list continue to exist. When you could put all of the side on the just enjoy James' extraordinary talent, why I continue to play NBA. James played basketball for by Vincent High School in his hometown Akron, Ohio, where he was given to by the national media featured NBA superstar, a prep to pro that joined Cleveland in 2003 as a first overdraft pick. Name of the 2003 to 4 NBA Rookie of the Year. He soon established himself as the one of the league premier player, winning on the NBA to MVP awards in the 2009 and the 2010. After filing in the Winners' Champion with Cleveland, James left the James left in the 2010 to sign the free agent with Miami. This move was annoying in the ESPN, especially titled in the decision, and is one of the controversial free agent decisions of the American history.
And now the third player is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that completed 20 years in the NBA, Milwaukee Bucks and Los Angeles Lakers, and he retired at 42 as the leading scorer, blocker, defensive rebounder, and the player with most games in the league, exceeding the 6,500 minutes of play. A true basketball legend, especially for his record of having chosen MVP in 6 occasions. It means that he is one of the best players in the history of NBA, and some people considers him the best because he has a very good stats. Abdul-Jabbar was also known as Leo Alcindor before changing his name, and he won 6 league championship, being most valuable player in 2 finals. Although he has played 18, so he's the player with most played finals in all his life. He was recognized with a tribute on all the courts, and the Milwaukee Bucks and Los Angeles Lakers retired his jersey in respect for his incredible job.
The principal ankle breakers, Allen Iverson and Carrie Inrig. That is I explained that for the vocabulary. I repeat, this is a crossover dribble in which on the sudden change of the direction causes on the defender guarding on the ball handler to fall down. The blonde handler then takes advantage to the fallen defender and drive past him onto the basket. Maybe my friend Castellanos can explain more that he have a more yes, he know that.
Okay, so Allen Iverson is like the first player in all the NBA to make an ankle breaker. Some people say that was Michael Jordan who made this, and some others say was Reggie Miller. But if we see the stats, Allen Iverson has the most number in this age to make these mortal crossovers, the ankle breakers. He also made the most crazy handles before Kyrie Irving, who is now like the modern Allen Iverson, that he actually plays for the Brooklyn Nets since the 2019 and 2020 um, season, but he played to Boston Celtics, being a possible MVP and one of the most important players in all the league. So the players that have dominated the ankle breakers are very valuable players because they can score from every position, and they Allen Iverson has a very low hate for the NBA, but he solves this with his velocity and being one of the most intelligent players in all the game. Now the conclusion.
Castellanos, bro.
Okay, so the conclusion is that basketball is a game played between two teams, uh, and the goal is scored throwing a ball through a net hoop fixed at each end of the court. This sport was created by Larry O'Brien. An ankle breaker is a mortal crossover, and the best players in the history of NBA are Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The most important teams are the Chicago Bulls, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Boston Celtics. All these franchises has very valuable players along the history, and we can also say that basketball is a sport that we can play like everywhere and every time. You just have to have a hoop and a ball, and it can be enough because you can practice alone. So it's one of the best sports for play with many people because it has very modalities for play with uh, a few people or with many people.
So one moment for pray for my best player, Kobe Bryant. 1 minute. Well, 10 seconds, please.
All the proceeds from this presentation will go to Kobe Bryant's family in his respect.
So that's it. Thank you, friends, for seeing the video, and that's all.
Thanks for your attention. I hope you've learned a lot from basketball. That's all for today. Thank you.
Rest in peace, Kobe.